I genuinely couldn't believe when I got a really big chunk of money and I was on TV for a YouTube video that barely had any views. Good morning. I want to show you something that got me really excited this morning because it's something I've been trying for so long and it finally happened. So hopefully it's gonna motivate you. And you're probably thinking, what is this gonna be? What's this special thing I have because of you? And I wanna use this video to, for one, thank you. And for two, to hopefully motivate you if you're trying as well to get monetized on YouTube, to keep going. Because my story will probably motivate you to not give up, because it's not the typical, I'll get monetized in 10 minutes. It's the real lesson that I've learned. I want to give you all the insights that I've learned to get monetized and how you can get monetized faster so you don't take as long as I did. Because if I knew certain things, I would like to believe I wouldn't have taken this long. So yesterday I got monetized, meaning today I had my first day of earning actual money from the videos that I've been doing for over a decade. And so this is what I mean. It took me a really long time to get monetized. And I want to show you everything that I've learned over the decade so you can get monetized quicker. But I want to show you something which I'm so excited about. If you could see, €1.49 I made yesterday. I'm so happy. But it is a start. So I am just really, really excited. I've never been so excited about less than $2. So let me get into more of the details. And first of all, thank you so much for taking the time to actually watch my videos. So I finally made it. The reason I'm making this video is because when I started researching other YouTubers, I would see how much money I made in my first 30 days of starting being monetized on YouTube. How much money I made in X amount of time, and you just would feel so excited because you would see all these numbers and you would get so excited and just think, oh my gosh, I want this too. And for a lot of people who are not monetized within a second, but it takes a long time, it can feel sometimes discouraging because you feel like you're not doing something right. You feel like you're missing certain things that make people not watch your videos, thus you're not reaching the 4,000 watch hours that you need in order to get monetized. And this can be really discouraging. And I think that's something that I hopefully can give a little bit of hope, a little bit of light to your own story, especially if you have been trying for a long time and you still are not monetized. Or what happens is when people come from other platforms such as TikTok or Instagram, they're used to getting a lot of views because that's just a different platform that most people just see as one. They just think, oh yeah, social media. But the growth there and the way of growing an account is so different. The way of making money is so different, and the way of seeing likes and all this metrics is so different than YouTube. YouTube is a hard game. It is completely different than Instagram and TikTok. I managed to get around like 30-ish thousand on TikTok, and I have 20-something thousand on Instagram. And it was a little bit of a stupid humble in a way when I realized I was uploading YouTube videos and a solid 4 people were watching my videos, and I was like, hello, no one cares. And really, literally no one did, which is totally fine. But actually I have to say the 4 people that did watch my videos actually were more invested than any of the views I would think I would have on Instagram or TikTok, because people are just so rushing through content. Their attention span is horrible there. They just watch because they just want to get distracted, which is totally fine, but it's just a different audience on YouTube that I've realized that I've learned to love so much and I appreciate so much, because people take time. I have sometimes some of you sending these long messages and I'm just so amazed because I can tell you resonate with my content, you resonate, maybe you have a similar story, maybe you're also a single mom, maybe you lived in a different country for a while, whatever it is that you resonate with me, you share that, and it makes me so happy because I feel like that way I can help a lot of you feel better if you're in a tough situation, but also inspire you and also to connect. And I learned so much from you as well. I learned so much from the comments And that's just a different ball game of social media that I think a lot of people are missing out when they first come to YouTube, because they think they can just treat it as TikTok, they can treat it as Instagram, and it's a total different place over here. Because if I can give you one lesson, it is focus on one platform at a time, because that's the biggest mistake that most of us do, that I did as well, because we hear it, you need to be visible as on many places as possible, and then what happens is you're not visible at anywhere, because you only have so many hours in a day, and even if you have help, it's just really hard because you're not going to be everywhere at all times. And if you can take that and just be okay with not being everywhere, because it is tempting, especially for me. I feel really focusing on YouTube was a little bit difficult in the beginning, because not to lie, it's easy. If you post on TikTok, I know I will have a couple thousand people watch my stuff. But if I post on YouTube, it most likely won't be that way. And so you feel like you're not really getting anywhere, but YouTube is so different. And I will talk about how YouTube is so much better in that way. And it's better for your mental health. It's better for you if you want to grow a business. I think YouTube is the place to be, honestly. And I know there's a lot of people who are successful on TikTok. There's a lot of people who make a lot of money on Instagram. There's people who are feeling fulfilled on other platforms. I'm just really glad I made the decision to be on YouTube. You can see the last post I did on Instagram is when I turned 27. The reason I stopped Instagram wasn't because I was hating on Instagram. It was more because I had a personal life step back, or I felt like it was. I was done pregnant, I lost my house, I lost my dog, my job, everything. And so I moved back to Germany, and my whole Instagram was just people in Hawaii. I stepped down because I didn't want to see life in Hawaii anymore. I just couldn't handle it. It made me so sad that I couldn't handle it. And for two, I was really embarrassed because I was done pregnant, and like, here I am, like, just have nothing left. Like, I have nothing to give, I have nothing. And I don't know, I felt not good about it. And so I just didn't want to share on Instagram anymore. And yeah, it was also because I was replaced within a heartbeat, and I felt really embarrassed about that. And so yeah, I just didn't want to share on Instagram anymore. And so I started TikTok. I did gain quite some following over there because I was sharing my solo parenting journey. A lot of women resonated with that. And so that way I had more people support me. And so I kind of moved over to Instagram. I built that following over there. It was really good for me because it gave me so much hope, because people also were writing about how they overcome like being pregnant and alone, and like obviously I'm not the only one who went through this, and so that was very healing for me. And so for me, TikTok was always a positive place in that way. But I always had YouTube in the back of my hand because that's something I've always enjoyed doing. I've loved making videos. It's been my little passion for my whole life. Like, I just love making videos, and it wasn't about trying to hit a certain niche. I just enjoyed making videos, and I've been doing it for so long that I've always had something with YouTube. And so if you look at my channel, I have videos that are over 10 years old. And what I love about this is kind of showcasing the journey. It's cringe in a way because my old videos are so bad, but in the same time, I feel it's a good way to see that you make progress, or think certain steps and areas in your life where you had a different life. Like for me, to see the life I had when I was living in Mexico, the life I had when I was living in Hawaii, and now here. And I think it's a beautiful journal almost. And I think it would be fun maybe for my daughter to watch at some point. And I just have a love for long form content because you share so much more depth than a 30-second Instagram reel or a quick TikTok, because I know you can share long form videos there, but people just don't have the time or the energy because they just want to wind down. And I feel on YouTube, you do have the permission to share longer form videos, which take a lot more effort. My camera just died, the usual. But I was gonna say is that YouTube really does take more effort to create, but the good thing is that you, for one, put way more effort into the projects, and it's more rewarding, and it's not as mentally draining because you don't have to post every day. And if you compare to other platforms, it is more exhausting because you have to post almost every day. Otherwise, the algorithm is going to punish you because it keeps feeding on short form every day of you showing up. And I think that's something that burns people out. It's not really fun because you have to come up with a new idea every day. And what I also realized is that the content needs to perform within a second. And so if the content doesn't perform within the first 24 hours, it's usually dead. Whereas on YouTube, it can take sometimes a week to pop off. The video that actually got me over the edge for the 4,000 watch hours was a video I posted about Copenhagen. And you can see, actually, I'm gonna put you a screenshot in. You can see that it didn't pop off immediately. It took a while to gain momentum. And so that's a more sustainable way. It's a different way because it can feel sometimes weird because you're used to getting a lot of clicks and views instantly, and YouTube doesn't do that. It doesn't give you instant reward. And in our times where we are looking for instant rewards, we need everything now. If we buy something online today, we want it already the same day. We're so in the I want it now that YouTube is a more patient kind of platform, which I started enjoying, and I just didn't try to feel sad about if my video wasn't instantly going crazy. One of the craziest things I got from YouTube, and it had nothing to do with being monetized, but this shows the power that YouTube has, is I got an entire TV show. I had HGTV reach out to me to film and document the house I was building in Hawaii. And it was such a amazing thing because it helped us back then to finance some of it, but it also was such a great experience to have a TV show document the whole process, and it wouldn't have been possible if I wouldn't have posted on YouTube a video that I was going to build a tiny house in Hawaii. And the video barely had any views, but sometimes the right people are looking for your stuff, and it will give you opportunities that you might even be able to get a house funded partially, which is so cool. And so not always looking at the normal monetization, but other opportunities that will arise from YouTube is one of the biggest benefits. And it makes this whole process so exciting. And I generally couldn't believe when I got a really big chunk of money and I was on TV for a YouTube video that barely had any views. Another reason why I think YouTube is the best is because you build so much more trust if you compare it to any short form video. If you were just doing the statistics and look at how many videos someone would have to watch from you in order to gain the same trust, the same connection with you than one YouTube video. For example, if you post a 10-minute video on YouTube and thinking about, you would probably need, thinking that all these shorts are so short, you would probably need 30 short form videos to catch up on the connection that you would build with one YouTube video. And so in sales or in general, when you want to build trust with people, it's the time they spend with you. And so you would need way more volume in short form video than you would need in long form video. And so it can be a good strategy to do longer videos because it makes people stick around with you longer and it builds more of a connection. It's so much easier than having someone watch 30 to 50 videos of you. The likelihood is very small, but that they watch one 10, 15-minute video, it's not that unrealistic that this is going to happen. One thing I did though to keep me motivated is I was taking screenshots almost every day by looking at the analytics tab, and I would go on to the income tab and it would show you how many hours you have completed for the 4,000 watch hours. They have two tabs. They have one for 3,000 watch hours, which unlocks some other monetization thing. It's like building a paid community, which I didn't want to do. And there's one for 4,000 hours, and that's where you get monetized on YouTube. I didn't know that, so when I hit the 3,000, I was so excited, but then you realized really quickly, oh no, this is not what I need 4,000. But that kept me really motivated because I would see progress. I would see I was completing those hours. And it took me a really long time. It took me actively trying for a whole year. And it was just a way to keep me going, to not give up, because I would see actual progress, even if it would just be like another 5 hours, another 5 hours. And it's just something that you could do to not lose hope because you see actual progress that you're making. And it all shows that this journey worth it. But also one thing I will say that most people say, which is true, is don't make it for the money, because that's probably the easiest way to actually get monetized. I always loved making videos and I never thought about, oh my God, I want to make money. It's my hobby. I've been enjoying doing it for so many years, and I'm fine with not making any money. I just love it so much. And if you love it the same, as cheesy as it sounds, there's no way you're not going to get monetized, because you're going to keep going. And it's just a matter of time when you get monetized. And if you can implement the tips I gave you today, you're probably going to hit it way faster than I have. And one little story I want to tell you that really impacted me was one time I was in Hawaii. It was a long time ago. And this guy came up to me and he was just asking me, hey, are you Gora? Actually, you might have it on video because it happened in the moment when I was filming some hike in Hawaii. And he asked me if I was Gora, and I said, yeah. And it was so fun because he told me that he moved to Hawaii for a new job opportunity he had, and that he had met his wife over there. And he pointed over there and I saw his wife like waving at me, and it was such a wholesome moment because I have never met this person. I had no comments from him. I don't remember ever obviously seeing him, and so seeing that your videos are impacting people and probably helping people, and that is such a beautiful reward that you don't even know. You're probably impacting people and you don't even know it, and you probably, some of them you might never know. And so that's really what also keeps me going, because I do have people, especially a lot of single moms, who are also alone with their child, or I don't know, just going through similar things. It makes other people feel less alone, and when I was going through it and seeing other single mom, it made me feel less alone. And so whatever it is that you're sharing, you're impacting people and you're supporting people without even knowing it. So that should be a super big motivation for you to keep going. Anyways, I'm gonna keep you updated on all my analytics, and hopefully I can share more insights soon. And I just want to say thank you again for sticking around and being here. It shows that this whole process is worth it. And yeah, I just wanted to say thank you, and hopefully see you in the next video.